Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm an executive job search and leadership coach, as well as the head coach for JobSearch.Coaching.HQ.com. And I want to talk with you about one of those employer strategies when they're talking with you during your interviews or afterwards that's designed to get you to compromise on money. So I want you to think, first of all, that from the employer standpoint, their goal is to get you for as little as possible, and from your standpoint, you're trying to earn as much as possible. So often, what employers will wind up doing is, well, I'll say it initially facetiously, it's show me the hand. They're showing their hand, and they're doing it in a way that's designed to talk you down. So, for example, they're going to tell you about, the economy is awful, or we saw this other person, they're really good. We're thinking about you, but, they're willing to take less than you. And, there are lots of these things that employers will say that's designed to finesse you. They'll say, we're not doing that well, our quarterly results, or whatever the nonsense is. And here's a couple of facts. Number one is that's their problem. Number two is in the case of the other person, if they really think that person's better, they should hire them. Because if they are the best qualified person, that's the right person for them to bring on board. The $5,000 more or $10,000 more that you're asking for is going to be made up by more in the way of productivity. And they wouldn't be raising the subject unless they were thinking favorably of you. So they're trying to talk you down. So I just want to simply say to you, if they raise the subject of corporate earnings, we're having a down quarter this quarter, you don't really know how much they're making. And this group, if they're going to be cut, well, why would you want to join if they're going to be cut? And you really don't know what they're thinking, although I do think they're signaling something and having this conversation to you. Don't worry about what they tell you about other people. It's a deflection designed to finesse you. You have to always be thinking that your value, the value that you've assessed yourself for, is really the correct value. And that if you haven't done your research, that's one thing. But I'm working with the assumption that you have. So you have to think positively in terms of how you're presenting yourself and your potential effectiveness. Because frankly, if you don't have the value, they wouldn't be raising this as a subject. So don't fall for their game. Instead, state very clearly if they raise the subject of the other person, say, I don't wish to be rude, but, I've taken a look at my valuation on the market. Other firms seem to think I'm worth this amount of money. And frankly, if you think the other person's better, you should hire them. But at the end of the day, if you decide I'm the right person for you, and certainly this seems like a great opportunity for me, I just want you to make your strongest offer. Now, this approach really applies to business owners as well. Have you ever gone into a negotiation where you're trying to sell a product or a service and the buyer basically says something to the effect of, I've got 3 other proposals and 2 of them are for less than you. That's great. You should buy one of them if that's the thing that's most important to you. But if you're looking for someone who can, and then you start reselling it. So all the kind of deflections that come up are all designed to finesse you into taking less than your real value. Don't fall for it. Instead of doing that, stand your ground. Do it in a polite way, and is it going to work all the time? No. But if you take 10% less, if you take $5,000 less than your real value, who's really hurt? The hiring manager feels like a hero because he or she got you for less money, but you're the one who has to live with the consequence of the decision. And at the end of the day, experience tells me it'll eat at your insides and it'll bother you. And since future raises are going to be based upon what you're currently earning, don't fall for the strategy. Hope you found this helpful, and if you did, come join me at JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's my site with curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read to help you find work more quickly. And there's a 7-day free trial at the site. Come join. I hope you find it helpful, and have a great day. Take care.